going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Drink This Book Podcast, episode 8. Yes, 8.
Every time. But we're going to get it together on the last one. Watch.
Yes,
you wait for it.
Okay, so this episode's book is Double Lives by Mary Monroe. This was a really good book. I think this was my first Mary Monroe book. Is it?
It probably is. Not mine. Not ours, baby. We love us some Mary.
Ride for Mary.
Ride for Mary. Okay.
I probably have read other books and just not realized, but yeah. This was a good. I had no clue what this book was gonna be about. I thought it was gonna be like spies or something, like a person living a double life.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I was thoroughly surprised.
Taken back.
Yeah. I was like, oh, these are my twins. Okay, I didn't know where it was going, but to introduce you to the book, if you and your identical twin have been swapping places all your lives, what harm could it do? Especially if you both have been fooling everyone, including your parents. Well, things could get deadly and did in the book of Double Lives as Fiona and Leona find out just how tragic lying to yourself and others can be and the consequences that come with those decisions. Set in rural Alabama in the early 1900s through the 1930s, the plot begins against a backdrop of black Southern life and culture ranging from eating pig ears to drinking moonshine. That I can attest to. I ain't never eat the pig ears, but I did eat other parts. Twin sisters Leona and Fiona Dunbar are at the center of the storyline and involved in all types of mischief. At first glance, they appear to be a normal set of identical twins born to proud parents Clyde and Mavis Dunbar in Lexington, Alabama. However, the plot reveals that Leona and Fiona often do not use the best judgment in their daily lives. What starts as fun and prankish behavior ends in life of trouble and dysfunction for them both.
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
The whole book.
Yes,
the
it did.
The whole book. It was like they could not make great judgments for themselves, but they could for each other.
Right.
And I was just like,
I think that was because of the love they had for one another.
Yeah.
It was one-sided though, kind of.
It was. I did feel like it was one-sided.
It was definitely one-sided.
I did feel like it was one-sided because you had the ride or die sister and the I'm a clam up sister.
Right.
Yeah.
And
right.
just fold over sister and throw you underneath the bus sister.
Right. She would have did me like that one time as a child and we would have been done with that. But no. Oh, I see who you are.
She
I
did
see
it
what
because
you're
she
doing.
knew her sister was a protector.
Yeah.
Right.
She's gonna protect me. She don't want anything to happen to me. And to me, that's real. That's real life.
Yeah. Right.
I've known some twins that behave that way.
Yeah.
So that's their thing.
I always wanted to be a twin.
Really?
I did. When I was little, I wanted to be a twin. I just thought it would be cool.
You wanted to be many people when you were young.
I did. That's why I read books. That's why I read books to combat with that. But yeah, I used to want to be a twin. Yeah. So what are we drinking?
Tonight, this is called Risky Double.
Okay.
And it's risky with a R. Okay. So in this you have, it's a very simple drink. You have whiskey, a double shot of whiskey, not for everybody.
Not for her?
Yeah, she got one.
Definitely not for me. Thank you. I appreciate
it.
We're learning.
Yeah. It's a double shot of whiskey. You can do any whiskey really, but I would advise to pair it a nice whiskey with a nice juice. So we have apple juice, organic apple juice. Let me just go and throw that out there. I do use organic juices in all of my juices. And topped off with fruit, ice, and a splash of cranberry juice. Organic cranberry juice. That
so
tartness.
Pretty.
To cut that tartness.
Okay.
That's good.
Well, let's see what we're tasting like.
I can smell it.
You know, I like whiskey. That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice.
I can taste it too. You sure I ain't get the wrong cup?
No, you got the right one. It's not that much enough.
Okay, so the author. So again, Mary Monroe, been down with old girl. Like many. My very first book was given. My very first novel. Let me say that, not book. My very first chapter novel was given to me by this one right here, and it was a Mary Monroe novel. It was God Don't Like Ugly, and so.
I don't know why I did it.
Yeah, I was a young lady, and she gave me this book, and
It was good.
it was. And so that started my
You've been
love.
down ever since.
Been down with you ever since, Mary. So if you see this, thank you, girl. You've been in my life a long time.
Yes.
So she actually wrote her own bio on Goodreads. So she says, I am the third child of Alabama sharecroppers and the first and only member of my family to finish high school. I never attended college or any writing classes. That is interesting. I taught myself how to write and start writing short stories around age 4. I spent the first part of my life in Alabama and Ohio and moved to Richmond, California in 1973. I have lived in Oakland since 1984. My first novel, The Upper Room, child. We need to read that. We need to read it.
Those who don't know their part of the movie life.
But the book had nothing to do with that. But
Nothing at all.
Nothing to do with that. But
The upper room will take you places you ain't never been before.
Yes, it is. Okay, yes. So The Upper Room was published by St. Martin's Press in 1985 and was widely reviewed throughout the U.S. and in Great Britain. An excerpt is included in Terry McMillan's anthology Breaking Ice. I endured 15 years and hundreds of more rejection letters before I landed a contract for my second novel, God Don't Like Ugly. It was published in October of 2000 by Kensington Books. God Don't Play is my 7th novel to be published, and it landed me a spot on the prestigious New York Times bestseller list for the first time. My 8th novel, Borrowed Trouble, was released December 2006. My 9th novel, Deliver Me from Evil, was released September 2007. And my 10th novel, She Had It Coming, was released in September of 2008. And my 11th novel, The Company We Keep, will be so this is will be released March 2009. I won an Oakland Pen Award for Best Fiction of the Year in 2001 for God Don't Like Ugly. I won the Best Southern Author Award for Gonna Lay Down My Burdens in 2004. I am divorced. I love to travel. I love to mingle with other authors, and I love to read anything by Ernest Gaines, Stephen King, Alice Walker, and James Patterson. I still write
I
7.
can see it.
Yeah, because
I can see it.
Yeah.
Because, baby, she twist and turn you just like they do.
Yeah, you don't be ready.
You don't. So I still write 7 days a week, and I get most of my ideas from current events, the people around me, but most of my material is autobiographical. Wow. I want to be in her life because some of these characters, child.
Yeah.
Child.
You have to check out. So this book here is a part of the Lexington series.
Yes, it's like book 4 of the Lexington
I don't
series.
think you've read the Neighbor series yet.
Mm-mm.
We thought
You need to read God Don't Like Ugly.
we thought the Upper Room series was
I gotta read that one because I'm. That's
The
interesting.
Neighbors. I love all of them.
Right.
This out of all the series, out of all the books, out of all the years,
Not all the books and all the land, huh?
and all the land. I put in reading Miss Monroe's books. This right here is my favorite. Like out of all the years, my favorite one. I wasn't ready. I was not ready.
I love this one, but Mama Ruby got a special place in my heart.
Cause you like hauling ass.
Because I'm a haul some ass. Okay, read the book and you
That's
know
all
what we're
she
talking
said
about.
in the book the whole
But yeah,
time. Yes, but it's pretty good.
yeah. So tell us about the synopsis and the plot, since you loved it so much.
Well, let's talk about the candle.
Oh,
So
okay.
we have a scent this evening, and it's called "Sis Is Your Time," and it was her time, you know, and I'm glad that time came for her. So it's a peony blossom candle. It's actually a tribute to both of the sisters, Fiona and Leona. You know, by Leona working at the chicken shack, she just wanted to get clean and get that chicken smell and all the feathers and all that stuff off. You know, they were about cleaning and So it's a clean scent for her, and then the blossoms and the fresh scent, the prissiness come in for Fiona.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
but the synopsis. All right. Since childhood, identical twins Leona and Fiona Dunbar have been getting in and out of trouble by pretending to be each other. Yet underneath, they couldn't be more different. Very different.
Yeah.
Outspoken Leona lives to break rules, have a good time, and scandalize their respectable hometown of Lexington. Fiona is a seemingly demure, church-going girl who is the apple of domineering widowed mother Mavis's eye. And that is no lie. But together the twins have fooled teachers, boyfriends, bosses, racist police, and most importantly, straight-laced Mavis. Even when Leona does jail time for Fiona, their unbreakable bond keeps them fiercely loyal. So when Fiona feels stifled in her passionless marriage and Leona is heartbroken over losing her one true love, it's perfect timing to change places once again. Leona is shocked to discover she enjoys the security of being a wife and homebody. And the unexpected spark between her and Fiona's husband is giving her all kinds of deliciously sexy ideas. Meanwhile, Fiona enjoys being free, single, and reveling in the independence she's never had. And the more she indulges her secret, long repressed wild child, the more Leona's ex-lover becomes one temptation she's having trouble resisting. As the sisters masquerade ignites desires and appetites they never expected, it also puts their most damning secrets on the line. Once the fallout rocks their small town, which it did, can Fiona and Leona's deep sisterhood shield them from total disaster and help them reconcile their mistakes? Or will the trust between them become a weapon that shatters their lives for good? Y'all,
Yeah.
let's start at the beginning.
Yeah.
So,
And it's just like a man to mix up the babies.
he had
One
One job, sir. One job. But you did not have to take them ribbons off to do that job.
I don't know how long she thought that could have went on, but it, apparently went on for the rest of their lives. The mom, okay.
That was my first issue. Because at some point, I feel
There's
like
something, a scar.
there's something that you're going to notice
Yeah.
about your children.
Because one of them was more sickly than the other.
The way they walk. One was prissy, one was not. One, they had their subtle differences. So it wasn't, I don't understand how you not know your children apart.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
She had to put a ribbon on them.
Right.
Yeah.
And it took the husband to go and mix it up. But the funny part to me is when the mom said, when Leona was questioning her, like, why, because she was going back, why the names, why I couldn't be named Fiona. And the mom was like, for all I know, you could be Fiona. Because your daddy chain gave you a bath and he put the ribbon on,
Right.
the ribbon came off and we don't know who's who.
Right.
True.
And I was like, well, that's kind of wild,
Yeah.
but to
Sir, you had one job.
One job.
One. And it's like, even if you bathe them, why not bathe one at a time?
Why you bathing them both?
You would think, because they had also mentioned that one of them had an accident and it was a scar, and that for a while by that scar she was able to tell the difference between them. But it depends on the severity of the scar. If it will leave a mark, some type of residual mark will be there.
Right.
So did it completely heal? Either you have some type of mark or some type of skin discoloration, something.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah.
She couldn't, I don't know.
And then,
Or you study them children. Study them. I would have studied them day and night until I figured out this one has this. This one has this. This one don't do this. I got to figure it out because I'm not going to be in the streets with some ribbons.
Right.
Trying to figure out who my children are. I'm
Nails
just
could have been different.
right, or something is different.
How one hair different or something.
Right.
But you would think with their mannerism that she would be able to tell that, okay.
Because their mannerisms. Yeah, Fiona was all prissy and this one over here being a wild child outside, want to go fishing with her daddy, and this one don't. So, Their mannerisms are different.
I don't understand how
And
Miss
even
Mavis.
if when they did switch, if they're with their parents, you should definitely see it.
Yeah.
Oh, you got the wrong ribbon on. You ain't Fiona. What you doing with me?
Right.
Why all of a sudden you want to be with me? You know, like, there were different things that they could have picked up on. I've refused to believe that they were not paying attention to children's characteristics.
Even the teachers, because when Leona wanted to play a certain role,
Yep.
you know, Fiona gave her that, you
Right.
know, and so because they gave the roles to Fiona because the way she carried herself,
She was prissy.
Yeah.
She was this.
right.
You know.
So they gave the roles to Fiona, so that right there was telling then,
Right.
you know, but because Fiona knew that Leona wanted the role, she let her sister play it, you know, in the play, the school play.
And no one was the wiser.
None.
No.
I don't understand that. That's a little off.
Right. Listen, I'm
And then the
35 years old, and I can call my mama in the crowd, and she gonna look up because she gonna know her. You know your children. You learn them, and you know them. Like I don't.
Like their tones could have been different.
Right,
Like something because
A walk. The way one, hold her hand or something,
Exactly.
Something.
some type of gesture.
Yeah, because we had twins in my classroom, and then when I say they were identical, they were identical. They had the same issues with their eyes, where their prescriptions were the same. They dressed exactly the same, but one of their face was a little bit more rounder than the other.
It's the two twins at the gym, and they look
Wait,
identical.
there's two twins.
Yeah, you probably think you talking to the same person, but it's two of them. But it's two of them, and they're black, and then they have their hair in like braids. Anyway, so it's two of them, and they look identical. And I finally saw them together, and this whole time I've been thinking I've been talking to one girl, but I'm talking to two. One of them is super hyper, and the other one is calm. So when I'm talking to the calm one, I'm always thinking like she's upset.
She has a kind walk.
Maybe, I don't know.
I thought you said that.
But
She has a kind walk.
so one of them is really calm, and so when I'm talking to her at the gym, I'm thinking, oh, maybe she's not having a good day.
Yeah.
Because when I see the other one,
It's
she's
a completely
hyper.
different
But
demeanor.
their demeanors are different. So now that I know them, now that I know there's two of them, I'm like, okay, that's you and that's you. So I don't understand how, and I'm not even their mama. So, ma'am, Mavis, you got some explaining to do.
I have some patients. They
I don't know. I don't know their names yet. I ain't got that for yet. But I know it's
my
two of
patients'
them.
names are very similar. I don't even want to say their names because their names are very similar. But they are twins, and the only way I knew them apart was because one got sicker one time and she lost weight. Then I was like, oh, so that's how I was able to tell. Okay, that's you know.
Yeah.
But if she wouldn't have lost the weight, I wouldn't have been able to, because they were the same little nice little short haircut and everything. They have children. They've been married before. They lost their husbands and everything, and they back living with each other right to this day. They go to the doctor together. They go shopping together. They go to church together. They do every single thing together.
Wow.
And
A
they're
lot of
they
twins are
older, and
really
they're in their
sync.
70s.
They're really in sync. To see twins,
I knew a set of twins. One of them had passed away, I'm going to say, in January. And the other one didn't live much longer because she heartbreak. Like,
Yeah.
she
lost half.
she lost half of her, who she was.
I think that's why Fiona got away with a lot of things she got away with Leona, because she knew the love that her sister had for her.
Right.
And my sister's going to do whatever for me.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, Leona kind of did that too,
Yeah.
but it was more so about me.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, and so, and that's how it started to spiral out of control, because Fiona took advantage of that.
Correct.
Like, especially
Yeah.
with the boyfriend thing. When Leona had the boyfriend, and Fiona wanted to go out and have a good time, you know?
Yeah.
And so, like, you go and have sex with him. I just want to go to the movies and he buy me juju beads, you know,
Yeah.
whatever.
Right, I just
And
want to
she
go to the
wanted
movies.
she
I'm just
wanted
using him to go to the
candy.
movies.
You do the other stuff with it. And
Right.
she did the
And
other
she did the
stuff
other
with
stuff
it.
with it.
Yeah.
But what I don't like about what she did here is how she dirtied her sister's name in the
did.
street.
Yeah, she
She
did.
dirtied
She
her
dirtied her
sister's
sister's
name
name.
in the street.
And then she let her sister's name be trash to their mother, too.
As
And,
well.
and that bothered me the entire
She
book.
never stood up for her. Never.
The
pregnancy.
that's what I was going to say. It's you number
Throw
one.
her under the bus. So
Like,
doggone
you
fast.
pregnant, but I'm taking the blame for it. And you going to sit here and let her talk about me and talk to me crazy, knowing
Yeah,
that is you.
it's you.
It's you.
But
yeah.
I'm who a virgin. Gotta
whole
go.
version of the
Yeah.
street.
A whole virgin ain't done nothing.
Being talked to bad.
But, girl, I'm telling you, mama, check me, baby.
I be like, this is what a buck. We gonna stop it right
Here.
here.
Because-
Stop it right here.
I felt like
I'm not
that
taking this
is-
one from her.
And I thought it was like, oh, she about to stop this right here.
No.
Kept it
Oh, we
going.
gonna keep going.
We kept it
Keep
going.
going.
Issue
Keep
number
going.
2.
Kept
She
going.
went to whole jail
Yeah.
for her sister. I ain't going to jail for nobody.
You all because you wanted a shirt. You was so prissy, and you wanted to have a certain look for your friend's wedding.
Right.
Throw that in there.
Yes, and you go to the store and steal a shirt, get caught, come home, let your sister take the raffle.
Right.
This 1918. Baby, jail for a black woman back then?
Yeah.
No.
A child. They were children too at
Right,
that.
right.
And her sister takes the rap for it. But you know what I liked about Fiona? Leona was smart.
Yeah.
Because when Sheriff Bodine came to get her,
She said, I got the.
she said she had the nasty.
She said, I got the nasty woman's
She
disease.
said she had the clap.
Right.
And he said, you got the nasty woman disease?
I do.
I do. Sure do.
But she did that
To
because
protect
she knew
herself.
she was a virgin, and I gotta protect myself because I know how they gonna treat me once I get in that jail
Exactly.
and
Yeah.
the things they gonna do to me in that jail.
Yeah.
So if I tell them I got the nasty woman disease,
They ain't gonna touch me.
Yeah.
Yup.
So that was, and
That
she was a
was-
child
And,
Right.
like
and
that.
also saving grace for her mother.
Yeah.
Because
Yes.
she worked for the family.
Yes.
Right.
So had it not been for her.
Yeah, because
doing
he
her-
actually said that.
Yeah.
Sheriff Bodine said, I would respect them, for
Yeah.
your mom and the things
And the
that
things
she
she
done
done
for
for
my
my
family.
family.
We're going to take it easy on you, you
Right.
know?
Right.
Gonna
I
let you do
mean,
your time.
but they
and-
easy wasn't easy.
It was not easy.
Baby, talk about the jail. When she first got into the jail.
The lady that was on the cot.
Okay, yeah, that was a lady on the cot. Let's talk about. You got one set of clothes for the week.
The bucket.
The bucket you had to
Ugh.
pee and everything.
That was for the week. They changed it out once a
Weekly.
week. They changed the bucket
so you
out.
got to sit up there.
But they did let her mom bring her clothes. They did let her
Yeah.
mom bring
Bring
her
her
food
food
and
and
stuff
clothes.
like that.
Yeah,
so
they
they
did
did
do
that
that.
back in the day when the
Yeah.
people went to jail. They
But
did
had
that.
it not been for her mama, she would have been in that concentration camp.
Right?
Right.
Right.
She would have been
Right.
in the women's camp.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah.
But the whole lady on the
On the cot.
When I went back and I read again, she was snoring because at first when I found out that the lady was dead, when they said the lady was dead, and I'm like, well, she must have been dead the whole time.
Because I'm like, well, when did she stop snoring?
Right, like who didn't know? Nobody paid attention to this. Like, hey, she's not breathing.
And was
She's not
she
snoring
snoring
anymore.
or was she slowly choking on her?
Doing a dirt gurgle, the death
Yeah.
gurgle.
That
She could have been
probably
doing
was
the death
it.
gurgle
That probably
too
was
at that
it.
as well.
Because I'm like,
because they said she was snoring like a moose.
Yeah.
That could have been.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But baby was dead
Dead, whole dead.
Yeah.
in the jail cell for days.
Days. 3 days.
I'm sitting up here locked up in a jail cell with a dead
With a
person.
dead person.
Right.
And I know
And
who
yet
it
I'm
is.
still a child.
Right.
I'm still a child.
And you know, I had to remember that during this book because they was doing a whole bunch of adult stuff, and then they was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, she's 18, 18,
Mm-hmm.
17." You know, like, I had to remember that. I'm like,
Because how old was she when the pregnancy thing? She was like 15. Like
it was,
Yeah, like
she was
probably 14, 15 in between
15,
that. But they
yeah.
still the same age because they were still around the same time frame. You know, she didn't get married till when she was 16, 17.
16
She
or
got married.
17.
So that was, yeah. So, and on top of that, I'm in jail doing time for you. But I guess that was Fiona's way of showing love. Okay, well, I got to get my sister's bill.
oh, baby.
But I'm going to go out here in the street.
The old man. Ooh, nasty.
I'm going to go out in the street to hustle my sister's bail money.
Ooh, nasty.
But I'm a hustler and portraying as my sister. I'm be out here doing the nasty, acting as if I'm her, but I'm trying to get bail money
she
for
better
her.
be grateful that's all she did.
all she had to do.
Right. She better be very grateful that's
Because
all
old
she did.
Jake was ready. He
Jake
was
was
by
ready.
Jake was by.
Jake was like, I got some money for you.
And what about, because that was molestation. That was a child.
Yeah.
They didn't treat them like that.
They
Baby,
did
by
not
the time
treat
you,
them like
then by the time you 14, you ready to get married and start having
Have
children.
your own family, huh?
Right. So
Yeah.
no, she
That
wasn't no
was
child.
wild back then.
Now we be like, oh my God, that's a child.
Yeah.
But no, back then.
They had whole families. They was married with children and everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Probably one or two babies.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
All right, so let's dive into some of these characters. So we have talked about Mavis, we talked about Fiona, and we talked about Leona. We mentioned the boyfriend
Ernest Lee. That was their first childhood. They shared him.
Yeah.
He was something else too.
Then, we cannot not mention
the best friend.
Yes,
Bonnie
Sue.
That wasn't no best friend.
I honestly think she started off as their best friend, but
she was friends with both of them.
Yes, but then you have to think about Bonnie Sue went through a whole lot.
She did.
She lost all her family.
She lost her entire family in like a span of a year.
I want to question that now, since we know what she did at the end.
Well, they died from, some of them died from sickness.
Right. It was kind of almost like a
COVID.
Like it was a COVID of 1918. Yeah, and a lot of them died that way. So I feel like in the transition of her losing her entire family, that's when
she snapped
and the obsession turned. The friendship went from friendship to obsession. Traumatic stress.
Because I'm losing everybody and I don't want to lose you.
So
I gotta
hold on to you with everything I got. So that's when the obsession, the friendship turned into obsession.
I can see that.
You know?
Yeah. I see it now.
Because she would never... Leona would never give up on her.
With them.
Exactly. She would never give up on Bonnie Sue because she knew what Bonnie Sue had went through. So she was like, when everybody else was like, we can ship her off, and she was like, no, I'm not gonna let Bonnie Sue be homeless. I'm not gonna. So Bonnie Sue took that
because Fiona got married and started
her own life. Yeah.
And so it was just Leona and Bonnie Sue.
Right.
And Bonnie Sue did not want to live with Mavis.
No,
Mavis
she tried
it.
She
tried
it.
She was too churchy.
Because she would have caught on to Bonnie Sue.
Yeah,
right.
True.
Like I can't.
I don't know. Mavis didn't catch on the stuff her daughter was doing.
Right.
She didn't, but that funniness, them old people clock that.
Because you know what?
As they call it, walks around with a little sugar in their tank. Or she different. What was the term that they would use for the women? I forgot. I don't want to say that.
I don't know.
Because that's what they use. That's the word they use.
The two words that
we don't want to say.
That's the words that they used back then. That was okay to say that back then, you know? But, yeah, they did notice that.
Yeah.
I bet it was hard back then to be different, though.
Yeah.
Oh, most definitely.
Absolutely.
It's accepted now, but back then.
Yeah. I mean, even in our generation.
It still wasn't
widely. When we were kids, no.
But it's okay to get married at 12.
That part.
It's okay to, have children at 13, 14.
Oh, right. It's okay for Uncle John to be sitting over there. Oh,
with Becky on his lap.
Right. Everybody got to keep an eye on Uncle John at the.
I did not get that until I was much older.
You better not have.
I have, because my family didn't play that. You didn't sit on nobody's lap, but I didn't understand why until I was much older. Then I was like, oh,
you don't sleep at everybody's house,
right? My mom let everybody come to my house because she didn't trust me going to nobody else's house.
Correct.
So I had a slumber party every weekend.
Yep.
Anybody they wanted to could come to my house
it
because
was a select few that I was allowed to.
I wasn't going to nobody's house. And then the one time I went to somebody's house, I got stranded.
And you know what?
Yeah, it was rough.
I didn't get. You sure did.
I was stranded.
But you know what? When Bonnie Sue had came over, that's the type of person Leona was. Leona didn't have much at all, but what she had, she gave.
She shared it,
and she shared that when Bonnie Sue.
Can you think about them two women sleeping on a twin?
A cat, like a cat. It wasn't a twin. It was like a smaller, like a cat. Like it was.
Like I can't imagine. I can't imagine. Like
you can't even turn.
Right.
You need a chiropractor. I know your spine is
once
all.
We get in, you in this position. Once we get in here, we in here.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure they spoon.
They had to. They know it's not enough space. You have to.
Enough space.
But think about when Leona had come with her boyfriend.
Yep.
Wiley would come over.
Yep.
And Bunny Soup right there.
Yeah.
She said that something about that conversation.
Now this is when my issue happened with
your antennas went up then?
A little bit. Yeah. But this is when my issue happened with Bonnie Sue. Bonnie Sue got a whole husband.
Yeah.
She got children.
Because she got married.
She got married and did all of this.
Yeah.
But you sabotaging my relationships.
Yes.
Why is it that you get to overhear? Exactly. Why aren't you with your husband? Why aren't you with your children?
That's what made me feel, because then that made me feel good when Bonnie Sue did get her husband and have her.
I thought it was like, oh, this gonna be good. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
I was like, okay, it's gonna calm down. No, it increased.
And I was sad because Bonnie Sue was married, Fiona was married, and Leona had nobody. The good one had nobody.
And that's what I say. That's what I said. Leona had the short end of the stick her whole entire life.
Entire life.
Her entire life. She had the bad reputation because of her sister. Her mama treated her crappy. She didn't get the husband and the family. You know, well, she gets it at the end, but she didn't get the family, all of the things that she wanted. Well, she got
close to it when, she didn't go. Wally got killed.
Wally was unalive.
He was unalive. Yes, he was unalive in a car accident. Then she met Boaz.
Yes.
But you know what, y'all? At the beginning of this book,
Boaz was my favorite because he was not playing with Bonnie Sue. He was
clocking Bonnie Sue.
Because he knew. He saw Bonnie Sue for what she was.
Yeah.
He's like, this girl is crazy, and I don't want no parts of her.
Yeah.
So
and she could fix cars.
So let's talk about that. So Bonnie Sue fixes cars on the side, right? Mm-hmm. Wiley mysteriously dies.
His brakes went out. Along with his friends.
I don't care about other people that have read this book with me said, I didn't catch it.
I didn't.
Baby,
I did not catch it.
No.
Because when they talked about her working on cars, it was like in a whole other part of the book.
Yeah.
They were just running down her life.
Because let me tell you.
Everything that she had to do to survive.
Right. And
let me tell you.
Cute.
So
and then I still didn't clock it that she was working at the garages. You know, not working at the garage, but everybody that couldn't afford
to go to the garage, they went to her.
Bonnie Sue.
Let me tell you, I clocked it right there. Let me tell you, I'm going to set the scene up for you. I'm going to show y'all the picture. So I work, right? Sometimes I'm listening to my books while I'm working. So I'm working, and it says, and Wiley missed his brakes mysteriously. What did I say? Bonnie Sue killed him. I said it. As soon as it happened, I said, Bonnie Sue killed him. I don't know if it's going to come out, but Bonnie Sue killed that man.
I didn't get that, but I did.
The girl was... Wiley would take her out. He would take Leona out to dinner. Bonnie Sue sitting in the parking lot.
Married.
Yeah.
Why is it that you got a whole husband and a family?
Where was your children?
Where was your husband?
And then she was like, they were going today. She's like, well, I'll wait here till you get back. No, baby, go home. You have a home.
No.
And the
question is, why your husband never questioned it?
Wait a second. Bonnie Sue, why you over there so much? Bonnie Sue, you need to come home and be a wife.
When Leona finally moved out and got her own place, a decent place, because she worked at the chicken factory at this point now, and she said there was no need in me locking my door, because if I locked my door, Bonnie Sue was gonna come through the window.
Exactly. She coming through windows. She leaving in my.
I say no, baby, not right.
Yeah,
baby,
it's not right. She coming through the window.
No, ma'am. You're not coming through my window.
Fiona clocked that at the wedding. She was like,
When she kissed him, did she kiss her or something?
Yeah, she tried to.
Yeah, something.
He was like, oh, when friends kiss, she's like, on the lips.
Lips? I don't know about that.
Okay, so Fiona. So Bonnie Sue, we got all that squared away with Wiley and Bonnie Sue. Fiona has a good husband, Jubal.
Oh Lord, Jubal had my heart too. Jubal had my heart too.
Yeah. He was a provider.
She didn't want for nothing.
She had a good son. Oh, and Fiona had a son who clocked Bonnie Sue.
Oh yeah, when
he was
early on, he was like
a little boy.
You know what the old people say? Babies and old people can tell you about a person.
Yeah.
He was a child, and he said, something about her.
Her spirit wasn't right then with that boy. He did not fuck with Bonnie Sue.
He did not.
And Fiona and them didn't even really pay attention to that. It's like, well, Leona did, because Leona, he was closer to Leona than he was his mom.
He actually was closer to his
And he told Leona that something is not right with Bonnie Sue. He said that to her. And that's why he say he leaves whenever she come around. Fiona's son would always leave the room when Bonnie Sue came around. But Fiona had the perfect life. She had a husband that take care of her. She was a stay-at-home mom.
Right.
He grew up to be a good kid. He went away to college and everything, doing his thing. She had the perfect life. Yeah. But then you had to go and be greedy and start sleeping with your pastor.
First of all, wait, we moving too fast. Hold on. Okay. So they haven't switched
at this point
in years. They've been living their lives.
Right.
Yeah.
So they come together and they decide to
because
switch.
of Fiona.
Yes, because of Fiona. She was bored. So now we're switching again. So Leona says, tell me about your life, the things that I don't know, so I can be prepared. How do you leave out, I'm sleeping with my pastor? You don't leave that out.
And I ain't sleeping. Well, she did say she wasn't sleeping with her husband because they had separate rooms.
Yeah.
Right, but she didn't tell her that she wasn't doing nothing.
She wasn't fixing him no
She wasn't fixing him no food. She wasn't doing anything.
He was on his own.
Yeah.
Right.
And then was complaining.
Correct.
And then Leona coming down.
He don't do this.
Yeah.
We don't go nowhere. You don't ask.
First of all, I'm not taking you don't deserve it. Let's stay there. You don't deserve it. You ain't cooking me no dinner. You ain't treating me like your husband. Why would I'm already giving you the life that you need. You don't work for nothing. You don't have to do anything. You got a house. You get to make your little stupid drapes and stuff for the church and all of that.
Yep.
And you treat me like crap. I'm not taking you nowhere.
Nowhere.
I don't want to.
Nowhere. But then when they did the little switcheroo, Leona goes over there. She's cooking and cleaning and doing all things, and he like,
what I got in you?
He knew.
Yeah.
Yeah, we found out he knew.
We found out he knew.
Yeah. But
yeah,
I wasn't ready for the turn that this book took. I knew
I was not. I was not.
Because at the very beginning of the
book,
baby,
it started out
it was like the book was traveling this way and it said, whoop.
Yes.
It was like,
yeah. I was like, did I step into
But I stayed ready though. But I wasn't ready as I thought I should have been because I stayed ready because the very beginning of the book, Leona said, I lost a love.
She said somebody I love is going to die because of this.
Yes. So I was like, ooh.
And then I heard
your ass gonna die.
Look, that's what I was
me. And I kept saying, my boy Boaz.
Somebody warned him about
because I knew he wasn't gonna be Wiley when Wiley died early. I said, nah, it ain't Wiley. Because she made you think that, right? Someone I love gonna die, and then Wiley died, and he was unalive in the car wreck. Yeah. So I'm like, but that was too simple. I said, nah, it ain't that. It's gonna be Boaz.
Yeah.
And it wasn't. How the book was going? It was going like that.
And then it said, whoop.
I felt like I was
Mary, you did your big one.
You did your big one, boo. You did your big one. Okay. So, how do we feel about the book, Miss Dion? Well, we know, but if you had to give it a number, what are you rating it? 5.0. Goodreads, our favorite little site, they rated it a 4.2. So you give it a 5. Mm-hmm. You did say this was your favorite Mary Monroe book.
It is. Yeah.
It's up there.
It's up there for me.
It's up there for me.
Not my top for the year though.
Not my top book for the year. Oh no, we're not gonna talk about my top book for the year. But it is up there.
Okay.
What about you?
I gave it a 4.8.
4.8.
Yes.
Okay. It's pretty good.
I gave it a 4.8.
Because once you guys started, you was in it.
I felt like Bonnie Sue should have got more for it though. I really wish she would have went to that jail and been
baby, I would have went to that jail. I would have been like, guess what, girl? You got the wrong one.
You got the wrong.
You killed the wrong one.
Yeah.
But then I thought about it was like the 50 times though. Like that was a lot.
That was overkill.
That was an overkill. And so I'm just like. But did she know? But we never know if she know because she never went back to...
Right, we never went back to find out. Yeah.
So talk about that because we didn't talk about that.
Okay, let me get my rating. I gave it a 4.9.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah. And I only gave it a 4.9 because I wanted more to happen to Bonnie Sue.
Yeah.
Yeah, she went to jail for the rest of her life.
Right.
Like, we couldn't give her an electric chair. We couldn't do... She brutally murdered this woman.
And almost
overkill.
Cut her head off.
Exactly. They say her head was dangling. Like, that was overkill.
How many times she stabbed her?
Yes, I'm like, that's overkill. So, I wanted more to happen to her. That's the only thing.
And you had a whole husband
and children.
Who were blindsided.
And all because this woman told you, I don't want to be your friend anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't want to be your friend anymore. You can't come over here anymore. No, I don't want you like that. And you kill her.
Right.
But you killed the wrong one.
Right.
Yeah.
That's when the book was going like that. And it did like this.
It just whoop, whoop.
Because
when she said, And this is when I knew I was about to die. What?
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
They were standing in that kitchen and
I was like.
So now, Bunny Sue, the last switcheroo that they did was a fatal switcheroo.
The fatal one.
Yeah.
Because it was like a no return.
I felt like Bunny Sue snapped when she laughed.
Yeah. Because that was the arrogance coming out in Fiona.
Yeah.
Like,
at that point,
she was a hysterical ass.
Leona didn't have that type of spirit on her. She would laugh. But that was Fiona that laughed.
That meanness, because she was supposed to be Miss Demure, Miss Prissy, but in the really, y'all got to think about how she treated her sister her whole life. She had a way about her.
Yeah.
You know.
The sister took the backseat to everything behind Fiona. Yeah. Got in trouble for Fiona. The sister literally had no life. She stayed in the shadow of Fiona the whole entire time. She had no life. Nothing really good happened to her. Everything was just bad.
Correct.
Oh, but her time came. That's why I say, sis, it's your time.
She had a nice ending.
Sis, it's your time.
Go ahead, Jubal.
Sis, it's your time.
So Jubal knew the whole time.
From the beginning.
From the phone call. Hey, come over here because we need to do a switcheroo. I'm bored.
Yeah, they thought Jubal was in that shower, couldn't hear, and went to sleep.
Jubal
heard the whole thing.
He was creeping on the side and wasn't listening.
And then Jubal, my boy, let me tell you why. Because Jubal was like, I'm playing along with their little game. But then when Leona started taking care of him, baby, I'm about to I'm cashed in. And he cashed in. I said, that's my dude.
Because Leona was at the house cooking and cleaning, doing things that Fiona did not do.
Right.
In the meantime, Fiona out here being a hussy again, sleeping with the pastor. Baby, think about Leona when the pastor showed up at her house and he's
like, girl, take your bloomers off. And she's like, hey, hold on. Let me tell you something. I would have went to my sister. Let me tell you something.
I would have decked her in the face.
I would have hit her and I'd be like, take your life back. Give me my ribbon. Give me my ribbon because I'm done with this.
You sleeping with the pastor?
Like,
blow out. Blow down dirty shame.
And then you ain't tell me.
Yeah. You know, he shouldn't tell that.
But baby, with Jubal.
Did you leave anything out in your daily routine? Is there anything you want to tell me?
Oh, no.
Oh, no? Well, guess who just came over here looking for you?
Pastor.
Well, he wasn't supposed to be in town for a month.
I don't care.
But Mr. Jubal, when Jubal sat her down at that table, he was like, so, I know this whole time. And she was like, okay, Jubal, it's okay. I'll leave. I'll start my life over. He was like, but you don't have to. And she was like, I understand you don't have to stay in this relationship with me. I said, you don't have to.
Jubal was like, I like shit and I won't shit.
And we gonna keep this train. We gonna keep this train rolling.
I was thinking the song from Madagascar, I like them big.
Yeah.
I like them juicy.
I was throwing on in my head. Jubal was like,
wait a minute, y'all. So think about it. You know what really did it for me though? What really broke my heart for Leona is when she died and her mom still in her death.
Her mama still was talking about it. She got what she no.
Yes.
This lady came in her house and murdered her. I'm just saying to the world, Bonnie Sue lost her mind and she came in and she murdered your daughter. So she didn't deserve that.
But
she didn't do that. But
still talk bad about
that's
her.
why Mavis wasn't
not knowing
the
whole time that this is your perfect little blossom that lived their life, and your perfect little blossom is now gone. Look, she gone. You got Leona. You got the good one the whole time. You know.
Right.
You know, so
didn't know it. Didn't know it at all.
But in her death, her mom still talked about her.
But her mom did have that confession on her deathbed.
And let me tell y'all about that confession. That confession pissed me off.
So you mean to tell me you was a Jezebel?
You mean to tell me you did all the things that you told me that I was out here doing? And maybe if she would have told them girls, that at a young age, they wouldn't been split. They wouldn't been swapping as much as they was. They would be living different lives if you would have just told them the truth. You want to wait?
Yeah.
I would have socked mama too. No offense, mama would have got socked too. You know what? I'm done with you too. Because this too much. This is too much. Nah, Mavis. Nah.
And then she had a peaceful death.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did. She had a piece for them. She died in her sleep, huh?
And she still didn't know. I would have made sure babies knew.
Now that
Yeah,
I
would have
told them.
They would have had to know.
My whole entire life, you talked about me, and and all this stuff, but I was not who you thought I was.
Right.
But at the end, she got the life she deserved.
Yeah,
Right.
she did.
At
But
the
it wasn't
end.
with the love of her life, though.
No, and that's
It
what got me
wasn't.
because
And
she
here's the
really
crazy
loved.
thing.
But
She
she did
really.
go to love Jubal.
But
She did
Jubal
grow
and
to love him,
Boaz
yeah.
are friends.
Right.
Yeah.
So he's
And she
always
gotta-
gonna be around.
She got to see Boaz.
That's
Right.
what I'm saying. She gonna have to always see him because he always gonna be around.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's the part that messed up because I
That's
was
why
like,
that's why I deducted 2 little,
Yeah.
right.
I was
And
like,
yeah.
because
Yeah.
Because right when Fiona died, I was like, so she's stuck. That's what I said. She's stuck here.
I did it.
You was going through it with this
I was.
That's the exact same thought I had. I was like, no, she can't get out of it.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I said, but it really was good. Okay, Sadie, who's your favorite character?
My favorite character was Boaz. I ain't gonna
Boaz.
lie.
Boaz was
my
smooth.
favorite character.
He was smooth. He was sexy. He
Boaz
had.
said, I'm gonna chase you to the ends of the earth.
But then he's like, let me tell you something. I'm gonna tell you I'm a real dude, and I'm gonna tell you I'm a real man. And if you can't handle that, I'm gonna leave.
Yeah.
And when you ready for me, I'm gonna come back. And that's why I was like, I love that.
And then when he said, what room was, did you ask me about these rooms?
Right.
Exactly.
You're
Where
right.
this room was
Right.
coming from? Who?
And even
And Bunny still spread them.
yeah, but Fiona even tried to tell her. She was like,
Girl.
where you get this from?
Stop listening to Bunny
Stop
Sue.
listening to Bunny.
Yeah, she was like,
She
I'm gonna give you an example. She was like, Juba go fishing all the time, and he come back with a little fish, but by the time the story get back to me, he got some
Yeah.
huge fish.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exaggeration.
That's my
lies.
It's lies and exaggeration.
Yes. Okay. So who's your favorite?
I'm gonna go with Jubal.
Jube.
Okay.
Okay.
Cause he was like, he swooped her and he picked her up and gave her what she needed. You know.
He gave her the life she really was out there looking for.
Yeah.
I
That
can
she
see that.
deserved. Cause
Yeah.
that baby had a hard life.
She really
She was
did.
good.
She did.
She did have
So
a,
Jubal,
that's
he's
a hard
mine.
life.
He's yours. I'm gonna have to go with my girl Fee.
You like
No,
me?
I'm lying. Leona.
Leona. I'm like,
That's why I was like, I messed
Leona?
up. Leona. I'm gonna go with my girl
Oh.
Leona. Leona, because she had a hard life. She went through so much, and all she wanted to do was go out, dance, and have fun.
That's
That's
all
it.
she wanted.
She wasn't trying to have no sex and nothing like that.
She was just trying to be out there having fun.
With somebody.
I want to feel the heat. Listen, that's all she wanted to do. But her sister out here sleeping with pastors and stuff, and she got to clean it up.
Yeah.
You know, she couldn't.
mean,
she
your
couldn't
sister was
listen.
a
She couldn't
rolling
clean up
stone.
the last one.
Yeah.
You
Your
know.
sister was a rolling stone.
So this life that you portrayed to
Her life caught
have,
up with her.
right? And this
Yeah.
life that you portrayed to have, now I get to have it.
Yeah.
You know.
That's exactly how it happened.
Yeah. Okay. Favorite part time.
Zoo,
If this was a movie, who would play who?
Now this gonna be interesting because I don't know no twins right now.
So, I searched high and low.
How high did you search?
I searched
Because
really
they
high.
were very pretty.
Yeah. So, first, everybody was like, Tia and Tamara. And I was just like, no. Let me tell you why. For one reason, Tia and Tamara do not look alike to me. They don't look enough alike.
Right.
That's one. And then, yes, they are polar opposites as sisters and actresses.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they could portray the story that we needed them to portray.
Yeah.
You know?
And I don't think they were that light either.
Yeah, no. So we did say they weren't that light. So I did Lil Leona and Fiona and Big Fiona and Leona. So Lil Leona and Fiona, I said that P. Diddy's daughters could be them. If they wanted to be little actresses to make some money. Lil P. Diddy's daughters could be. They don't ever have to work, but I'm just saying if they wanted to work, them the Combs twins could,
the younger ones.
yeah, they could be.
Okay.
They could be Lil Leona and Fiona.
Okay.
And then moving them up to adults, I thought Tasha Smith and her twin.
Yes.
Because for one, I didn't even know for a while. I didn't even know Tasha Smith was a twin.
I did.
And I think her sister name is Sidra. It's either Sidra Smith or something. It's close to that. But yes, I'm thinking they could be them. And I'm telling you, Tasha Smith is going to be Leona. And Sidra's going to be Fiona.
Yeah.
I see it because Tasha's a little rough around the edges. So, you know, and remember that man that came and tried to take advantage of Leona and she beat him up?
Oh, yeah.
I can see Tasha Smith doing that hands down.
Yeah.
I can. Oh, you gonna invite me over and not gonna give me what? Boy, I didn't invite you over for that. I invited you over for Scrabble.
Yeah.
Boy, we playing Scrabble and eating some food. You thought, I don't know why you thought that, but no. So, but yeah, that's who I picked for them, and I think, they're not too light. They're right there where I think they were, and they honestly, to me, look identical. If she took her hair off, I couldn't even tell them apart. I just, So that's who I picked. Mavis, the mother. So I think Taraji could play the mama. Let me tell you why. Because their mama was hard on them. Yeah. Whenever they did something, she was whooping them and doing all of the things. But then she was this Southern Belle, church goer, and I think with the range of Taraji, she could do both. She could do both.
Because the mom had 2 lives too.
Yeah. And I feel like Taraji could encompass both roles.
Was that Tyler Perry movie that she played in? Well, she was, I think, like a jazz singer or something like that.
But she was the and the little girls.
Yeah. But the mom had 2 roles because we didn't talk about it. The mom had a whole other family, another husband and children.
Right.
Children.
Yeah.
Before she had those girls, she had children.
Yeah. I was just listening to that again today when I was going back over the book. So yeah, I picked Taraji for Mavis. I was like, that could be good. Next up, we had Boaz. So I do know Boaz was fine and light skinned and good looking.
Okay.
So I did Michael Ealy because I say, and he
Boaz has got to be. Is there a bad looking Boaz?
Huh? I don't think there's a bad looking Boaz. I don't think there's.
All Boaz got to be good looking.
They are
good looking in the Bible.
Yep.
Yeah.
Had a little money, had a little chain.
But I see Michael Ealy as Boaz because. Yeah, he light skinned, and I feel like Michael Ealy has always been a sure of himself.
Yeah,
and that's what Boaz was to me. He was confident. He was. Listen.
Yeah,
I know what I can bring to the exactly, and I know what I can bring to the table. So when you get off your foolishness, you come find me.
Smooth,
right? Yeah, so that's who I was like. Yeah, Boaz, Michael Ealy, we'll give it to you.
Yeah.
All right, Bonnie Sue. She was light skinned. I picked Miss
light skinned chick.
Tandy Newton.
Michael Jackson.
Look at Tandy. Tandy can be
Beloved.
Right. She can be crazy. No offense, Tandy. You're a beautiful
girl.
woman.
You played Beloved.
You did play Beloved. But I'm just saying, you are a beautiful actress and a beautiful lady.
Beloved was the one done for me.
It's on the list of movies that I never ever have to watch again.
Watch that again.
Beloved. Nope. No, thank you.
I want you to touch me on the inside.
One and done.
But she said a scratching her dick.
Right.
Touch me on the inside.
So yeah,
we good.
Miss Tandy Newton. She could be Bonnie Sue because I could see her laughing and popping off at the end. All right. Next up, Mr. Jubal. So they kind of said that Jubal wasn't nice looking, but I didn't get that from him. Like they said he was tall, but they said he wasn't ugly, but he just wasn't what
Boaz was.
Right. So
he wasn't appealing.
Yeah.
You know, he was just a hard-working man and took care of his family.
They made and that's why he was 80 years old, but when he was really young. I had to think about it. I was like,
well, he had to work hard for that old worrisome wife of his.
Yeah, but then I was like, Jubal, how you was sneaking around with her? Then I thought about it, I was like, he not old.
Right.
He not old.
They all young,
because they were really young. Like, Jubal was in his 20s. She just married him when she was, 16, 17?
Right.
So yeah, he was still a spring chicken.
I picked 2. We can go between the 2 old dude that played on
Sterling K. Brown.
Sterling K. Brown, that's his name.
I love me some Sterling K. Brown.
I love him too. I follow him on TikTok. He's amazing. He makes me laugh, and him and his wife are so cute together. But he was my first choice for Jubal because he's tall and he's dark and handsome to me, but I think he can play that role.
Yeah.
And that new show he got, I just watched the first episode.
I watched the whole. It's good.
It's really good. I can't wait to go back to watch that. And then my second choice would be Megan Good's beau, Mr. Jonathan Majors.
Yeah.
So
But I would go with Jonathan because of the description that they gave
because
Jubal.
I feel like Jubal a big dude.
Right.
Yeah. And Sterling is a little too, clean cut, little,
yeah. So that's why I picked him because that show he played on HBO.
Because he's not handsome to me. I'm sorry, he's not.
Okay. I'm not gonna say he's giving me Jubal. Let me tell you why. Because they said Jubal wasn't really nice looking, but he wasn't ugly. And that's,
I didn't say he was ugly.
That's what I'm saying. And that's what I get from Jonathan Majors. I love to see you and Megan together though. Let me put that in there. But yeah, let's go with the Jonathan.
Okay.
Yeah. Next we have Sheriff Bodine.
I think that's a perfect picture you put for Sheriff Bodine.
Sheriff Bodine. Think about it. Old
but he showed up at her funeral. He sent flowers to her
That's
funeral.
Uncle Daddy off Claus. Y'all remember Claus with Niecy Dash? Uncle Daddy.
Oh yeah.
that was his name on there. And every time he played on anything, I'd be like, Uncle Daddy. Uncle Daddy. Type in Uncle Daddy. He's gonna come up. He's gonna come up.
That's a good one. For sure, Bodine.
Dean Norris.
That's his name. But Uncle Daddy, he gonna be for y'all do that too. Let me tell y'all. Every time I watch something, the person becomes their character. Meredith Grey gonna be Meredith Grey.
That's it.
She ain't ever Ellen Pompeo. She is Meredith Grey. And he is Uncle Daddy. Okay.
And Danny Glover gonna always be Mister.
Right.
So.
And then the last lady was an honorable mention. She was the clerk at the jail who brought her the magazines, and then at the end she told her
she showed up with the flowers.
Yeah, So and I picked her. I forget who she is, but she just gave me white lady who can be rude but can be nice at the same time.
She gave you white lady clerk. That's what she gave.
She gave me white lady clerk.
I need a name though.
White lady clerk. You can take a picture of it and see if she come up because she's a famous actress.
I know. I can't
but white lady clerk is what she gave me. So
that was nice.
It was
gonna be nice to the little girl in the jail cell.
Let's see.
Rachel McAdams. That's her name. Yes. And she would be the white lady clerk. Yeah. But this would be a movie I would watch. I don't care who they pick.
Most definitely.
But this would be a movie I would watch because, baby, everything that happened in this book.
Yeah.
The crazy part about this here book, though, I'm gonna tell you this here. This comes, like I said, this is this is book 4 of the Lexington series. You know what the first book is? Miss Wiggins.
We read that.
Yes. And it's the neighbors, the guard series, God Don't Like It, they all just follow one another. The upper room, they all follow the Mama Ruby series. They all followed each other. The neighbors followed each other, but the Lexington series, it didn't do that.
No,
it was all different stories.
The only thing that they have in common is that they're in Lexington.
That's it.
Alabama, but outside of that, the stories don't connect.
Lexington is popping.
Right. They got a lot of stuff going on. Right. They got a lot of stuff going on in Lexington, Alabama.
Yes.
But
But that's it. They didn't line up with one another.
No.
Yeah. But I enjoyed it.
I did. I really did enjoy this book.
I did enjoy this book.
I didn't think I wouldn't enjoy it because it was Mary Monroe for one, but I really did enjoy it.
Well, this was my debut, so I thoroughly enjoyed it. Thank you, Miss Monroe.
I would suggest that you read the Mama
Ruby series, baby.
Mama Ruby. And then go to the God Don't Like Ugly series.
I'm on book 3 of that because I went back and read it again, so I'm on book 3. I read God Don't Like Ugly and God Still Don't Like Ugly. So I'm getting
and God Don't Play.
Yeah, I'm on God Don't Play now. So yeah,
Mama Ruby series and God Don't Like Ugly.
The neighbors. Oh, the neighbors is good.
I gotta read that one.
You gotta read your neighbors.
Yeah, but
because Odell and yeah.
Guess what, guys? This is episode 8.
Yes.
We've been doing this for 8 whole episodes.
I know.
Thank you guys for watching us. I hope we're not talking to ourselves. We got 2 more episodes this season.
We're not talking to ourselves.
Yeah.
I'm so glad because certain people come up and they was like, "Thank you. You made me want to go out and read this book." So I thank you guys for tuning in and just sitting here because we can talk about books all day.
Yeah,
we really can. That's why we had a couple of book clubs because we love to discuss and talk about books. So this is just another avenue for us to do that, and we thank you guys for hanging out with us 8 times.
Yes.
Yeah.
8 times.
Ching, ching,
So yeah, in conclusion.
Yeah, this was a really good book.
Yeah, it really was.
I'm excited to read others, and I'm glad it wasn't a long read.
Right, and none of her books are really
and it stayed,
long like that.
Stayed popping in this book.
Yeah,
right,
it's like no information needs to be missed.
Right, you need it all.
So yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Good, it kept me on my toes. It was like she started it.
Right.
I couldn't guess what was gonna happen.
No, I'm telling you, what we say happened.
You say,
and that's what happened in this book. Like
it was. I felt like I was in a Michael Bay movie.
Yeah.
On the murder scene, I was like, oh.
Oh my gosh! Right. Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh!
Okay, come on, let's have those Titans and slasher movie.
Right.
Yeah.
So thank you guys for tuning in to yet another episode.
We thank you for sharing. We thank you for your likes. We thank you for your comments. We just thank you for everything.
Yes. And the love you guys be showing us on social media, TikTok. Well, we don't have an Instagram yet, but
we're working on it.
We're working on it.
Yeah.
And you guys tuning in on our episodes, we truly appreciate it. Thank you guys. Yes. But yes, in this season we only have 2 more episodes, but we do have our next season already
in the works. But if there's books that you would think we would love to discuss or you want to hear us discuss, drop them in the comments below.
Yes.
Because we will read anything.
Yeah, outside of the books we read in book club, we do read separate books on our own. So
and some of those books get shuffled into the show, and then we make the others go out and read those books because we want to discuss them. So if you have a book for us, drop it below.
And season 2 gonna be different. We're gonna shake it up some. We're gonna have some authors to come in.
Yeah, we want some author talks.
Yeah,
we may even have some other book enthusiasts come and discuss books with us.
Yeah.
Maybe some of our book club members will come in and just be a guest one day.
And we'll be doing a book crawl this month.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Yes. April 1st started.
It started April 1st, and we're going to be really going out there seeing our independent bookstores because they need the love.
Yeah. So I found out because I started to crawl on yesterday. Sorry guys, I'm sorry.
She started without.
I was in the area and it's just it's 3 bookstores right here. But I found out when I went to TSU. Number 1, I was their first time. I was the first person to start the crawl with them. So they're like, "Can you take a picture with me?" I'm like, "Yeah." I felt like I was somebody, but what I did find out, the warehouse. You know that warehouse that we went to? Did you know that warehouse was black owned?
No, I didn't.
I didn't either.
Oh.
That warehouse is black owned. The girls at the TSU told me that on yesterday. So we got Kindred Stories.
And Kindred is moving. Did you see that?
They moved
got a big space. Yeah, I love that. I love that for them.
Kennedy had her book talk at the El Dorado Ballroom. So it's a bigger. They need this.
They need this space because it's so small. It's small and cute right now, but I can see it being nice
it's
and
cozy,
bigger. Real cozy. So
But so the Houston Book Crawl has started all for the month of April, and I'm just excited to see. Are we gonna do all the stores?
We are. We're gonna make it work. It's
25 stores.
It's 25 stores, but we're gonna make it work. Last year we made it work, and we had a good time.
We're gonna have drivers. We're gonna have certain drivers. I drive, you drive.
I'm driving Sunday.
Somebody else might drive in a new vehicle.
I know the new Pathfinder.
They new Pathfinder.
3 rows.
Yeah, we all could fit.
Oh, that would be a field trip.
So great. And then we can eat.
We can make it a day.
We can make it a day.
We can make it a day.
Just as long as we include food.
You know what? We should do that for a book club. Small one.
Yeah. I like it.
A book crawl for the book club?
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
It really would.
And
That
we
was
could
so cool.
discuss the book while we riding in the car and stuff.
Alright.
Go to the different.
That's why I said the small one.
Yeah. I see where your brain went with that. I see it.
Yes.
We'll talk to the others. We'll talk to the others.
Alright.
Alright, but thank you guys for joining us. And we're out. Woo! I told you we always get it the second time. I told you.